Is your debt causing you sleepless nights? Knock your debt out with Debt KO. And your debt won't be the only thing keeping you up at night. Debt KO, free, impartial advice on all your debt.
Razzaban for IFL TV in association with MTK Global. With me, I've got the man in demand, Mr. Sam Jones. Sam, happy Sunday.
I'm all right, mate. Yourself?
I'm good, not too bad, not too bad. Sam, thanks for jumping on at last minute. Before I talk anything about boxing, just want to see, do you watch UFC much?
I watched it last night. Funnily enough, I did watch it last night. Khabib, he's I don't know much about. I'm not a UFC kind of guy, but I've met Khabib not long ago when Joe was doing his camp in Las Vegas, and very nice guy, very humble guy, and he kind of showed how great he was yesterday, didn't he? I don't know what about UFC, but he looked unbelievable, and how he carries himself as well was fantastic.
Is it unique to see an athlete of any sport at the pinnacle and peak of their career, where they could have many, many big nights with big fighters and earn substantially a lot of money, just say, you know what, I'm done. Thank you and goodbye.
I think if I've learned anything about top level sport, all he's done there is increase his value. So I don't listen. I could be completely wrong, but Floyd Mayweather used to retire after every fight, and his value went. His value was a lot higher. So I think that's probably what. Obviously, he's promised his mum. So I don't know how if he keep his promise, but I think all he's done there is increase his value.
Sam, big fight coming up this week. Derek Chisora, Alexander Usyk. Everyone said this is Usyk's real test at heavyweight. Mm-hmm. Is this last chance saloon for Derek because potentially big fights ahead for Derek, or is Usyk going to be just too clinical and too good?
Chisora's he's always his last chance saloon. I think he's lost, is it 9 or 10 times, Chisora? So I don't think it does anything to Chisora. If he loses, it just makes no difference with Derek, does he? He's a big character in British boxing, so I don't think it's going to do much. I've spoke about this a few times. I think that I would love to see Derek win. I'm a big Chisora fan. I think most people are. I'm a big Chisora fan. But Usyk's a great. Usyk's an all-time great. The greatest cruiserweight of all time, in front of Evander Holyfield, in my opinion, at cruiserweight. People keep saying they're alluding to the fact, Usyk's not fought a heavyweight. He's fought loads of heavyweights. He's fought Joe in WSB. He's fought many big heavyweights. It's not the same as fighting a 12-round heavyweight fight, but he's fought Murat Gassiev, who I've said in my last video. I got a load of stick for it, but believe me, Gassiev can seriously punch. He really can. So Usyk has been in there with real power, with real big men, and I just think that I look at the fight against Chisora against Caballero. Chisora couldn't land a glove on Caballero, who Usyk is literally like 50 times better than. No disrespect to Caballero, but Usyk's a complete other level. So I think if you're asking me what I think is going to happen, I think Derek will have a go, but I think the lack of the crowd as well will play into Usyk's favour as well. I just think Usyk's going to outbox him, and it's going to either be a unanimous points decision or a late stoppage. Because I think he's just going to get consistently punched in the head, and I just think that the coach or whoever's coaching him will either pull Derek out, or the ref will stop it, or Usyk will win a unanimous points decision. I just think it's going to be a boxing clinic by Alexander Usyk.
When Usyk was sparring Joe, how were those spars, and how did Usyk fare against someone who punches as hard as Joe?
No. He boxed him in the WSB. Okay. Yeah. He boxed him in the WSB a few years ago. Joe was very raw. It was a very good fight. You should watch it back on it. But Usyk's he's a boxing genius. So he's one of those fighters where you look at him and you Tony Bellew. If you watch the Tony Bellew fight, Tony Bellew was probably up on the cards in most people's scorecards when he boxed Usyk. But Usyk makes you do things. Like you look at Tony Bellew, I've never seen him really knackered in any fights because he's a 12-round fighter. But against Usyk, he was shattered, and that was because of the how Usyk was making him work, making him do things he didn't really want to do, educated pressure. I just think Usyk's amazing. Like I would love to see Derek win, but I can't see it for the life of me. I think Usyk's gonna just look. It's going to be a boxing masterclass from Usyk.
As you mentioned, that Derek loves the Lions Den when he's at the O2, the crowd cheering his name, and it does give a different adrenaline and a push to Derek. So you do feel that's going to have a significant impact in this fight.
Yeah, I don't think it would have made any difference to the result, but I think it fires Derek up, doesn't it? As I say, I would love to be proven wrong. Like, what do I know about anything? But like I'm saying, from what I can't see it for the life of me. You only have to look at the Caballero fight, and Caballero's like he can't touch Usyk for ability. Usyk, I just think Usyk's going to beat him very, very comfortably.
All right.
I'm looking forward to the whole card. I'm looking forward to that card. I'm looking forward to Hannah Rankin against Savannah Marshall. I'm really looking forward to that fight. Really looking forward to it. I was sad when it got pulled last time. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to the whole show.
How's Joe? How's Joe looking?
Joe's looking fantastic. He's looking fantastic. Really possessed at the moment. So I'm going to go and spend the week with him next week. So I've been really busy. So I'm going to go and have a full week with him next week. I'm probably going to be with him now from now until the end to the fight. He's got some top sparring next week. But yeah, he's doing really well. The bookies have wrote Joe off. They completely wrote him off. So we'll see. The fight's getting ever closer now, isn't it?
No, absolutely. Sam, just quickly, we saw obviously Lomachenko, Teofimo Lopez. I know you're a big Teofimo fan. We obviously saw post-fight Lomachenko going for surgery. We've seen pictures yesterday where he was stitched up all over his shoulders. Loma hasn't come out himself and said that I lost the fight because of my shoulder. We know team members have put things out there, but would you like to see a rematch?
No, I wouldn't. He got beat fair and square. It's as simple as that. Loma's a great, isn't he? He's an all-time great, but he got beat fair and square. People can be carrying injuries. I know many athletes that have carried injuries that you can nurse, you can get the injections and everything. I'm sure he did have an injury going into it. But I know many athletes that have had an injury that they've nursed for 3 years and then they have their surgery. He's just chosen to do it then. So I think it's poor form from whoever's saying that. Like, it's Pacquiao did it after the Mayweather. I don't have respect for that. Like saying, Lomachenko didn't look bad in the last couple of rounds, did he? His shoulders seemed to be working fine in the last rounds. He just lost to a bigger and better man on the night. It's just the people are just stuck in their ways. Loma's unbeatable. He lost. Lomachenko, he is beatable. Teofimo beat him fair and square.
Sam, I remember speaking to Mauricio Suleiman. He said to me regarding the franchise belt, it's not transferable. It's a recognition. It's a status given to certain people like Lomachenko, Canelo, etc. Is Teofimo in your eyes the undisputed champion? Now, I'm not saying is he the number one fighter. Without doubt, in many eyes, he's the best in the division. He's the number one in the division. But is he the undisputed champion? Fact.
It's not a question. He's the undisputed champion. He's beating the best in the division. He's the best. It's as simple as that. There's too many belts in boxing. It's bollocks, isn't it? Really, let's be honest. There's far too many belts in boxing. He's the number one. I would like to probably see him fight. There's so many good fights to be made, isn't there? Gervonta Davis, but I think Ryan Garcia is going to lose against Luke Campbell. In my opinion, I think I can see Luke beating him. Too experienced. I don't know, Gervonta Davis, Devin Haney. There's so many good fights to make, but Teofimo has been struggling to make that weight. I know for a fact he's been struggling to make that weight for years. So I think the best thing for Teofimo to do is to vacate the belts, because you can't do any better than what you've done there. You've beaten a guy who nobody really gave you a prayer of winning. Move on and go and fight the winner of Ramirez and Josh Taylor. He's already shown how great he is, but that's just taking it to another level. And you know what? Teofimo is big enough to go to 147 as well.
So I just want to get your opinion. Controversial the other week, Luis Ritson versus Vasquez. Everyone had that fight quite significantly in Vasquez's favour. People might have it close up, but we all knew who the winner was in that fight. The board did an investigation, and I'm sure you saw this statement about Terry O'Connor's card, and that they were satisfied afterwards with his understanding and his perception of how he saw the fight.
I don't know. I was in a situation with John Edges with his debut. I was getting, he's been robbed. But a lot of people in the game, like people like Dominic Ingle, they saw it as a John Edges win or a draw. It's the most people thought John lost, and I was okay with that. If the ref would have given it to the other guy, I would have been fine with that. But the way I was watching it, and it is relevant to what we're going into. I thought this could go either way here. But if John loses the fight, then we're not arguing about it. It is what it is. That was a contentious decision. Do you know what I mean? You could be subjective. The guy landed the more significant shots, but John was controlling a lot of it with his jab, even though it was a bit of a pitter-patter jab. But anyway, that was a subjective fight. The Ritson-Vasquez fight was easy to score, in my opinion. Like me, sometimes I think I'm not scoring that because it's above my head. I had Vasquez winning every round bar the first round. I had Ritson winning the first round. I had 11 rounds to 1 in Vasquez's favour. And I think that it was easy to score. And it could have, the first round, I gave it to Ritson because I thought, yeah, maybe. It could have easily gone to Vasquez. I don't know how anybody, it just wasn't. It was just like, there's people, the word robbery gets used too much in boxing, in my opinion. That was a robbery. That was an out and out robbery. There's no contentious decision there or subjective. There's nothing subjective about it. Vasquez pinged Ritson for 12 rounds and won easily as well, and could have done it for another 12 rounds as well. He won easily. So I've got no time for that. I didn't really comment on that because I just think it is. What can you possibly say to it? If the board have said that they don't think that's suspicious, then I don't know. It's worrying. Like if you're a foreign fighter, you're worried to come over here, aren't you? I mean, we used to slag the Americans off and the Germans off, saying, we won't get a decision out there. But Jesus Christ, if anyone with the Germans or the Americans are watching that, you're not wanting to come over here and have a fight, are you really?
Absolutely. All right, Sam. Thank you very much, my man, for jumping on. Give me a few moments of your time.
Always, mate.
Stay well, stay healthy, and enjoy your Sunday. And I'm sure I'm going to be pestering you over WhatsApp in the coming week or so. Sam Jones live on TV. Thank you very much.
Take care, mate. See you in a bit.
Is your debt causing you sleepless nights? Knock your debt out with Debt KO. And your debt won't be the only thing keeping you up at night. Debt KO, free impartial advice on all your debt.